Things to do when you're about to rise, when your season has come, when you're about to take off, your destiny is calling you. What you should be doing is approaching. Duty that God has placed for you is now calling you. What should you do? What is supposed to be done? Now, in the book of Genesis chapter 28 from verse number 11, we start from verse number 10. It says, "And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran." Now, it says he left Beersheba and went towards Haran. What does Haran mean? Haran means mountainous. Now, what is a mountain? A mountain is a height. A mountain is a lifted up place where when you arrive, it is not the mountain that lift up or that is lifted up. It is you that has to be lifted to climb above the mountain. Now listen to this. And he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night because the sun was set. And he took of the stones of that place and put them for his pillows and laid down in that place. This is a place which we all know that Abraham used to sacrifices, and the Lord had made a covenant with him in Haran, in a mountainous place. So this place was already designed for the grandson, for or grandsons, so that the covenant of the Lord must be ignited when the grandsons arrive in such a place. What a beautiful moment. I want you to understand that there is a time when you reach a point where you need to take off. There is a time or there is a season which was designed for you to take off when you are about to become better, when you are about to rise, when you are about to approach your destiny. There are things that are reserved for you to do. When Jacob arrived in Haran, a mountainous place, he arrived in a place where everything was taller than him. Mountains are always taller. That's why they are called mountains, not copies. Mountains are taller than humans. And when Jacob realized that he is in a place where everything is taller than him, he slept, he died to the flesh, he humbled himself. How far do you realize what you should be doing when you're about to take off, when your season has come, when your duties are calling you? Destiny is already making a call for you, for your service. Jacob realized that I'm in a mountainous place, a place where everything is taller than me. So what should I do? There was a sensitivity that the men developed of the place where sacrifice was done, where something was already done for you that you should harvest. But the men descend that only sleep can help me. What is to sleep? To sleep is to die from your flesh, to die to the flesh, so that nothing about the flesh will manifest in your life. Hallelujah. Nothing about the flesh should manifest in this season. When the man arrived, he took one of the objects of the place, one of the citizens of the place, and he used that one to lean on. The man realized that I cannot be active where I should be transformed. The man realized that if I am to be alive, if my flesh is to be active in a season when my flesh should die, I will miss my flight. There is a spiritual flight, ladies and gentlemen. which you need to take off, you need to take on, to ride on, so that when your time has come like this, you shouldn't miss how you should rise. You love Jesus Christ. There is a very, very important thing that you need to do. When Daniel arrived in Babylon, what Daniel did was to take a fasting. And the fasting that Daniel took, it was this fasting which was different from others. And this is Daniel chapter 1, which tells us that Daniel had to take a vegetable fasting together with his brothers, Meshach, Abednego, and Shadrach. And their fasting was different from the rest. And the Bible speaks that they were given wisdom, knowledge, and understanding above matters. Daniel was about to be manifested in his land, in the land of Babylon, in a place which was not his. You need to realize that when Jacob arrived in Dan, he was placed in a pit, and what he did was not sleep. He did not sleep in the pit. Jacob had to sleep in the pit, but Jacob had to sleep in Haran. But Joseph did not sleep in the pit. Hallelujah. And Daniel had to take a fasting. Hannah had to sacrifice and pray. Rebecca had to take care of what was there. She had to go an extra mile. What is it that is required of you when you're about to take off? When David arrived in a place where there was a battle, what he did was to challenge. He had to challenge the Goliath of the place. Hallelujah. He had to challenge the Goliath of the place. So when his time came, he accompanied his servant and went with him to look for donkeys. Something that he has not been doing for a long time. He discerned that I need to do it right in this season. What are you supposed to be doing? In your season, of course you dreamt, of course you fasted. But what is it that now? Now you have arrived in a place that carries God, that carries packages, that determines your tomorrow. What is it that you are supposed to be doing? For we have highlighted that what others did. This Jacob that we are reading about, he had to take one of the citizens of the place, the stone that was participating in the sacrificing. He had to take that one and lean on. What does that mean? That means to find a person that God has sent, God has strategically placed in your destiny, that this person should take care of you, this person should give you wisdom, this person should introduce you into seasons. Who introduced Joseph when he arrived in Egypt? Who introduced Joseph when he arrived in Egypt? Is indeed the cupbearer. There is a person, there is a stone that you need to identify when you arrive in your season. There is somebody that is placed in everywhere you go. Realize and understand that everything is taller than you. Everyone is taller than you. When you realize that everyone is taller than you, it's time for you to die to your flesh and discern what should be done. And discern what is it that you should be doing in order for you to rise, in order for you to climb the heights. Joseph slept. What are you supposed to be doing? Daniel fasted. What are you supposed to be doing? Hannah prayed, and she was praying with a sacrifice. What is it that you should be doing? For you shouldn't copy Jacob, you shouldn't copy Hannah, you shouldn't copy Joseph. There is a specific thing that has been assigned for you. There is a personal description, something that God has strategically placed on your way, so that if you do it, you climb the mountains. Haran will remain behind you. Haran is a mountainous place, but those mountains shall remain behind you when you take off, when you climb heights. Question yourself, what is it that you should be doing right now? What is it that is needed of you to be doing? Others had to sleep in their season so that they can only climb in their seasons when they are spiritual. They had to ascend to recognize what is packaged in the place. What is it that is packaged for you in that place where you are in this year 2024? What has been placed for you? What is it that God placed for you to do so that when you do it, you rise? What is it? Think about such, child of God. Think about this. Others had to sleep. And you are supposed to be, what are you supposed to be doing? Are you supposed to be praying? Are you supposed to be fasting? Are you supposed to honor somebody? Are you supposed to read the word? Are you supposed to go to school? Are you supposed to go to a radio station? Are you supposed to go to a TV station? Are you supposed to be taking care of the orphans? What is it that if you do it, God will speak? Jacob had to sleep, and when he slept, he realized that the place is God. Some of the things that you're going to realize when you take the right step, they will be so shocking. They will make your destiny different. You will tell people that I saw God. You will tell people that I saw Jesus Christ. Nobody will believe it just because you took one of the citizens of the place. Somebody who was there, who participated when your blessing was declared for your future. Child of God, this is so deep. Who is he that you should lean on today? Is there any person that you should lean on? Daniel leaned on fasting. Daniel leaned on vegetables. Huh? Daniel leaned on vegetables. Jacob leaned on a stone. And what that which Joseph leaned on was a pit. David leaned on Goliath. He leaned on Goliath. He leaned on a problem. He leaned on a trouble. And then from there he rose. They asked, whose son is this one? Rebecca leaned on generosity, kindness. She went beyond what was asked. And the next thing was, whose daughter are you? Tell me, in your father's house, is there any room? Is there any room for us to lodge? Which means there is something that is going to unlock your potential, child of God. There is something that is going to unlock what you can do. Yes, you are well packaged, but there is something that can ignite what is in you. What is it? Is it a prayer? Is it a prophecy? Is it fasting? Are they vegetables? Are they fruits? Is it a business? Is it a person that you should honor? And when you honor them, they will ask if there is any other thing that you can do for them. From there, after David fought the Goliath, when David leaned on a challenge, that is when the king Saul had to ask, whose son is this one? And you will find the same David, the next thing, he was also introduced again in another thing. Kingship asked him. Kingship, even the kingdom, the dwellers of the palace were shocked with what the man could do. All along, there was a man like you. We didn't know. It's because the man realized what he can do. What is it that is required of you? What is it that you can do? That if you are to do it in 2024, your life will never be the same. Your family will now begin to live better. Your potentials will be recognized. Your education can now be noticed. That which you were equipped of can now begin to shine. It is the year of visibility. I pray that visibility will take off through you. I pray that you shall notice what is around you. Let the visibility, the theme of the year, cause you to notice what you can do. And you are never going to be the same. I declare you are never going to be the same until we meet again. Shalom.